Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you. And if you are a subscriber and you've come back, I love you. I'm John Stark from MagTheMovieGuy.com, and this is the most important film of our generation right now, of 2022, the year of legacy sequels and reboots and requels. This is the most important one. This is Eraser Reborn. That was a dramatic pause. I wanted to wait for the excitement to die down on your end. I was giving that, I know it's, to like have a pause in a YouTube video is deadly, because people are like, ooh, that's dead silence, I'm gonna click out of this video. But I just kind of felt like the dramatic pause was needed for something of the level of Eraser Reborn. I mean, how long have we been requesting this sequel? Like the original came out in 1996, and like the internet was like a baby. And I think in 1996, after the film's release, we immediately created the let's make an eraser sequel.com website, which later followed up with why hasn't there been an eraser sequel.com, which followed up with can we please have an eraser sequel. And it felt, I could tell that the internet has been clamoring for this. And thank God that they've answered the call, that they have brought back a legacy sequel to this. I mean, I have no words. This is just, it's an amazing accomplishment. Unfortunately, it doesn't have audio description. And let me tell you, I was shocked, I say, to find out that a legacy sequel starring absolutely nobody anybody has ever heard of, that just dropped randomly on HBO Max, did not have audio description. So I made sure to tweet at HBO Max, and I said, hey, what is up? This film does not have audio description. You will not be getting my vote for Best Picture this year. If you thought you were going to get it, if this was your entry into the Oscar race, well, wake up, sir. You're not getting my vote. I'm not voting for Eraser Reborn because you didn't bother to put an audio description track on a sequel that we've been waiting 26 years for. The world is just so unfair sometimes. It's just so unfair. Yes, I watched this film anyway, and let me tell you, there's almost no dialogue in this film. So it was like listening to just gunfire. I really appreciated the score a lot more because I really got to listen to the score. It was really like the only thing in some scenes, as I guess people were creeping around, or I don't know, driving, or I don't know what else they were doing. But this is a film that I normally would not have paid attention to the score. And in some scenes, it was really all that I had. There was nothing happening. So I just listened to the really sort of intense kind of 90s vibe score. I thought that was cool. I was like, man, this score feels like it was written for the 90s. So I know it was written for his shitty film, but whoever wrote the score, I'm not going to bash them. I'm going to make sure that they know right up at the start of my review here that props. I'm giving you props. You're probably the best thing about the film, especially from a blind person's perspective. From the rest of the perspective, obviously I've been joking. This film is dog shit. It's a step above Interceptor. Like, I was thinking about other action films of the year, and I was like, okay, so this is a little bit better than Interceptor. And when we're talking about films with casts of people we've never heard of, this is also a little bit better than that hot take film that I just watched, where some guy was trying for like the duration of the entire movie to eventually find his Johnny Depp, but he never did. That was painfully bad to watch. This is just Eraser remade, is what it should be called. They found some guy who has absolutely zero chemistry. I don't even want to know what his name is. I hope I never see him again. I I feel like if I say his name, he will get more famous, and I don't want him to be in any more. No more casting. If casting directors, if you see somebody with Eraser Reborn on their resume, no, you don't need them in a role. I mean, they can stand in the background or something. I don't know. They can play a random goon that just, punches somebody out. But do not give them lines. Do not give them stuff to do. The main guy in this film is the antithesis of charisma. He's like they found the most boring, least interesting person in the world to to follow up Schwarzenegger. It's like they were like, it doesn't really matter. Who do we cast in this film? I don't know, anybody. It's like, should we try to cast somebody from the WWE? Nah, just that guy. The guy at Starbucks? Yeah, he's cool. He always makes me a good frappuccino. Okay, well, we're casting the guy from Starbucks. That's kind of what it feels like. He feels so out of place. His line readings are not great. And the film is just a retread of the original with a couple of plot changes swapped around. Nobody's running around with a compact disc in this film. Thank God. But it has beat for beat, like the scenes where it opens up and there's some guy and he's in witness protection and people have found him out, and it requires the Eraser to come in, and he kills all the henchmen and saves the guy that's in witness protection who's a little shady, and he gets to say that line and he's like, "Congratulations, you've been erased." And I'm like, that line is still stupid. And it's even more stupid when it's not coming from Schwarzenegger. When it's coming from Schwarzenegger, it's at least mildly entertaining. But when it's coming from this guy, it's just like, oh, sweet. Oh, my God. So he rescues this guy. This is what I was able to pick up, by the way, because lack of audio description means lack of interpretation of the film. Most of the time, I didn't even know where they were. There was like an animal in this. No idea. I have no idea what animal was in this. But there was some kind of an animal that the girl was afraid of for a while, and I think they were trying to sell it. I could not follow it. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I remember in the original there was an animal scene too, because they were in the zoo. But I was like, well, good, they even have an animal scene. Why bother to come up with a new concept when you can just remake the original? So he rescues this guy, does the thing. Then, oh, look, there's a girl, and she's being used by the FBI, just like in the other film. And now she needs the protection of the Eraser. And though things go awry, because turns out there's a mole following this film beat by beat. And oh, look, he's gonna have the guy that he saved at the beginning of the film is gonna come back, and it's gonna help him, because he's like, look, I'll do anything. If you ever need any help, call me. I'm your guy. It's like, okay, so he needs the help of that guy. It's just so obviously beat for beat for beat, and it's obnoxious. It's so stupid, and it's terrible because all they did was they remade the film with a shitty cast, and then they just put it out there for people to watch, and they're like, Eraser Reborn. First of all, while Eraser made like $100 million at the box office and was a hit back in the day, it was what we call a star vehicle for Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is a star vehicle for no one. This is like a driverless vehicle. This is like one of those cars that you always hear about on the road nowadays, that like, it's like the Domino's pizza delivery truck that apparently just drives up to your house, and you just walk out to it and you get your pizza. It's like that. There's no driver in this car. So anyway, it doesn't have audio description. It's on HBO Max. HBO Max debuted it, and they've been pretty good about when they drop a new film about putting audio description, and they gave zero fucks about putting audio description on this film. Probably because they gave zero fucks about the existence of this film. I'm gonna guess they I guess somebody made this film and then they paid about $1 for it, and they were like, okay, well, we'll stream it on our service for $1. And then somebody was like, I guess. The lesson learned here is don't make shit with like casts of nobodies when the original thing was, you know, a star vehicle based around one person. At least try to find someone. Like, make this like The Undertaker or something from the WWE, you know, like someone. The Miz. Oh my God, The Miz would have been so entertaining in this. Like, it's just, but instead, I don't even know. Or at least he's got kids. Schwarzenegger's got kids. You missed the opportunity to put one of his kids in this sequel. Like, there's so many missed opportunities with this. But they went for the cheapest cast they could possibly find. I think they just like stood on a street corner and they were like, who wants to be in a movie? And then they cast people that way. God, this film was terrible. Somehow, though, less terrible than Interceptor. So when I'm trying to figure out how to grade the film, I didn't like the cast. It does follow the original beat for beat. It has an actually decent score that pays a lot of homage to films of the 90s. So all that in mind, I'm going to give this film a D. So Eraser Reborn gets a D. It has no audio description. I'm going to keep saying that. So do not. But I kind of felt kicked to the teeth a little bit because I went back and watched the original Eraser before checking to see whether or not Eraser Reborn. I just sort of assumed HBO Max was coming in solid with audio description when they drop a new film, because it was like the advertised film at the top of my HBO Max thing when it dropped. It was like up at the top when they put like the hottest title that they want you to watch. It's now on the service. It was like Eraser Reborn, and I was like, ooh, oh, that means I have to watch Eraser. So I went and watched Eraser, and now I'm watching Eraser Reborn. I'm like, there wasn't even audio description on this fucking thing? God damn it. Because I wouldn't have watched it. But because I bothered to watch Eraser, I couldn't, like, just randomly watch Eraser and then not watch Eraser Reborn and review it when my other review clearly says I'm doing this so I can watch Eraser Reborn. So I got pushed into a hole here and reviewed a title without audio description. Not very happy. If you stayed through this review, God love you, and please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of the year. You can go to my website, macmovieguy.com, for more reviews. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it, so you can watch something that actually has audio description. And the adna.org is where you can learn more about narrators and all that stuff. So that's it. I gotta go review something else, but I'll see you guys on the other side with something that has audio description, hopefully.